What's going on, YouTube nights? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box, our weekly cover price top 10. Sorry, guys, we had to move some things around, but we're here with you now. So let's kick it off like we do with my man, DJ Curse.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Hold on and get some, boys.
Heads up, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. I'm actually simulcasting this live on Facebook and on YouTube. And rarely ever does we ever check on Facebook. But you know what? There's a couple of you that are on Facebook.
We abandoned Twitch, apparently.
I abandoned Twitch. Fuck Twitch, man. Nobody ever watches Twitch. But shout out to whoever's watching on Facebook as well. I'm in there. So I got crazy audio going all over the place. But shout out to everybody in the live chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. We got some really cool stuff today. But first, let's pay some bills. First of all, this show is brought to you by CovrPrice.com. Go to CovrPrice.com. Get all kinds of goodies. I spent my entire weekend just putting in like all kinds of data, dude. I was sitting there. I go, I have access to this comic. Let me just pop this in real fast. So this list is brought to you by CovrPrice.com. This is top 10 comics sold with the week ending Sunday. This is bought off of real sales data, bought off of like eBay, My Comic Shop, Comic Link, Comic Collect, Comic Heritage, and all kinds of places. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have them on. They were supposed to come on today, but they're busy with work, believe it or not. So maybe tomorrow I'm going to have them on or Thursday. So we're definitely going to come on. So if you have any questions for the guys at Cover Price, please leave it on there so we can ask them about it. The show is also sponsored by our friends at KRScomics.com. Go to KRScomics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the KRS Comics store. And right now they got a really, really dope
Spider-Man.
first Venom.
Man, that looks awesome.
Yes. So make sure you check it out. They're going on pre-sale. You know what? Let me just, I'm going to download it and I'm going to show it to you guys right quick. Since we're here and you guys ain't got
Who's
nothing better. It is Philip Tan. It is Philip Tan. It's awesome. absolutely gorgeous. Why don't you guys say hello to everybody in the live chat while I pull it up? So this way, you guys can see what it's on.
Yeah, who do we got in here? I see Optimus Prime. We got Bilbo Hauser. Obviously, Sif Lordy with the wrench holding it down. Dave in the Cave. Gabriel Fonseca. We got a bunch of people in here. We're about 50 watching right now. We had to do a little.
For everyone jumping over on the other stream. I know we had some technical difficulties, but hopefully everyone's on this one and not the other one, because I did see that it was showing up. So thanks for joining us on a Tuesday night, guys.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully you're not lonely on the other chat like a loser.
Where's the show?
Waiting for the show to start.
When we were on Twitch, wasn't there one guy that would go on there and watch us on Twitch?
It was me. Me and one other guy were talking the entire time.
Yeah.
It was really sad. It was really sad. But let me show you guys. I should have been prepared. But and as we always say, these go on sale and they pretty much sell out. Like, I mean, literally like within minutes. So make sure you guys get it. Boom. There it is right there.
That is
Amazing
dope.
Spider-Man 44. It says Kindred is back. This is a Philip Tan exclusive variant that's going to be available on, was it this Friday?
Yeah,
that's
awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
I love how they made it like the old school, title.
Yep, Friday. So May 1st, when we have the Lord's auction later on in the evening, these go pre-sale at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on KRScomics.com. So here's breaking news. If you didn't know, Diamond Distribution is going to reopen on May 20th.
Yeah, we were talking about it actually before you jumped on. I'll send a link. I've got a link here with all the issues coming out. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, so all the stuff from KRS Comics has kind of been put on hold. So with the release date from May 20th from Diamond, that means hopefully we'll start getting new comics soon, and all these online variants that people have been buying, they'll be able to ship because this one is badass. I'm a big fan of Philip Tan. I met him he was actually at the KRS booth at WonderCon. So that's really cool, man. That is dope. But remember, we talked about the what was the Harley Quinn one from last time?
Yeah, the Batman Adventures
That shit
cover
sold
swipe.
out in like 2 minutes, man. That shit was no joke. People are hella thirsty, man, and that's a good thing. But anyway, you can always use the discount code of LOTLB, and boom, you get it right there. You got 15% off, and this is a KRS Comics exclusive, so make sure you use the discount code of LOTLB. This is also brought to you by our friends at Rocket Comics. Go to Rocket Comics on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. They got their own website. He's really busy right now, but yeah, I mentioned the
I just
Lords.
got an email that said they're doing a private signing. Is that
Yes, they
true?
are.
Yeah.
Clayton Crane, Frank Miller, along with some other cats. So make sure you hit them up, man, because these signings, things are starting to loose, guys. So, you know, we're slowly getting back to normalcy. I think California, we got May 15th as the first phase that we're going to start doing stuff, but I don't expect any large gatherings. Hell, I think telecommuting from home at least half of the week is going to be our new norm. Straight up. That's what I believe. Because you know what? We've been functioning as it is. People are like, why do I need to come in the office, yo? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Also, this show is brought to us by our friends from the Geeky Swag Shop. Go to the geekyswagshop.com. Use discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything, including Lords of Long Box t-shirts, NY Warriors t-shirts, some 3 Men in the Basement stuff, all kinds of goodies. And, you know, and since our brother is missing today, we'll give a shout out to Otto from Negrano, inmate number 3657464363. And let's get right to it, boys and girls. This is a pretty exciting top 10 list. And we flipped coins. Who's got odd and who got even?
I'm on evens this time.
You're on evens this time. But before we get to that, boys and girls, we like to do something we like to call the runners up for the weeks. And these easily could have made the top 10 on any other given day of the week, but they didn't. And if you case didn't know, there's been a lot of stuff that's been falling out from the Carnage movie that really kind of shook things up for the aftermarket. So this could have made the list, but it just barely didn't make the cut. Normally it would, but right now a lot of back issues are being sold because there's no new issues. This is the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, and it's on 2 pages with the dialogue and the name. You know what? There's an actual image of it, but if you want to see it, I mean, this is CGC notes this as the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy's Carnage. So there you go. It sold 15 copies, had a 7-day trend of 126% and a high sale of $90 for a CGC 9.6. So this is one of those things where everybody's snatching up the other copy. So people are falling back in this one. We see it all the time. People snatch up the first copies, the first issues, and then they get the cameos. And we saw it happen literally real time in front of us with Punchline, of course, right?
Yeah,
and God, I am so I wish I could punch the big to-do, man. When he sold that Punchline 9.8 on the live sale.
That was amazing.
What was it, $100?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. It was the variant. It was the Delato variant.
Yeah.
It was Batman 89, and Mikey sold it for $100. I said, you should auction that. He goes, no. So
was it signed?
Yeah. So we're going to have another one Saturday, guys. Appreciate those. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulties in the first 2 rounds. For some reason, the wireless wasn't working. But then I just happened to have a 50-foot cable in my car because I'm an IT person. So I went to my car, grabbed the 50-foot Ethernet cable, and I was able to plug it in. So this time I went and bought a 60-foot cable. So we'll be ready to rock Saturday at 2 p.m. for the next installment of Comics, Tunes, and Toys live sale. Please bear with us. And remember, always select live chat. Do not select top chat. People are still falling for that. So we got another one on the runner-up list today, which was on our list last week, but it almost made it. Justice League Dark #1 comes in at number 11. It sold 20 copies with a 7-day trend of 109% and had a high sale of $37 for a raw copy. And just like that, it was #1 last week, and now it fell to 11th spot. That just goes right now. The back issue market is really, really hot right now. But its book's still had a solid week, though. I mean, it's still sold 20 copies. So that's pretty darn good, man. It's just these other books on this list just happen to be a little bit better. All right. So at number 10, who's going to rock it?
I got it. So you were just talking about this book, first appearance, but this is the main first appearance, of course, of Carnage. This one is obviously the go-to book for Carnage. He's right on the cover. First full appearance, and what a fantastic cover. This is Mike Bagley at its best. This needs to be a good homage variant, by the way, if someone is out there. Sold 20 copies last week, had a 7-day trend of 109% and a high sale of $37 for a raw. And I know 9.8s go for well over $200, but this is a beautiful book, guys. The 360, 361 362 and 363 is the great Carnage arc. So, but this is the one to get, guys. This is number 10, first full appearance of Carnage.
I have the second print of this. I think it's a silver cover.
Yeah.
That's when back when Marvel wasn't doing full blown variants yet. They were the only variants you can get were what they would consider second and third printing, and they basically just made him like a different color. Another famous one is the first appearance of Silver Sable, which I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about really soon. But next up, so number 10 on the list, guys, was Amazing Spider-Man number 361. Number 9, what got, Zach?
Number 9, we have Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen 3. So this is the book, the big hype pre-pandemic era, if you guys can even remember back to the good old days. This is the Punchline first full appearance, still holding the line here on the top 10. It's been there every week, man, since we've started this. I really feel like this is actually one of those OG books since we started doing these top 10s. I kind of might be sad to see it go. It sold 24 copies, had a 7-day trend of 99%, and had a high sale of $129.99 for a CGC 9.8. So, but like Tim said, man, there's some good copies out there. You said it was Batman 89 that Big To Do sold?
Yeah.
So
the graphic side, the StreamYard is acting wonky on me, but nothing is working today.
It's a full moon.
It is a full moon.
This book, I mean, honestly, right now, this is the time to start picking up these punchlines because they were super high for a while, and they're dropping because, things are cooling. Things are cooling off. And
now we got the graphic. Yay! So go ahead, Zach. What's number 9 on the list?
No.
Of a muffle auction. I got something else. I had 4 last time. I actually sold a Hell Arisen 3 and I sold a Batman 89 together. I forgot how much it fetched. Maybe like 160, 170 or something. But if in hindsight, they got a pretty kick-ass deal for Batman 89 and Hell Arisen number 3. So there you go, boys and girls. Number 9 on the list is Hell Arisen number 3. Let's go to number 8. And we got an oldie but goodie for Justin.
Yeah, another Spider-Man style book. So of course Carnage is there, but this is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. This is classic cover. This is with no new releases. Collectors are turned into those undervalued keys like this one, and it's definitely one of the best books to have in that run. If there's a book on this list, this is probably one of the most iconic comic book covers out there. Also, this is the origin of Venom and the first black costume. So this is a really important history of Venom, with Venom coming out and Carnage coming out. But as far as sales numbers, we have 28 copies sold last week, 7-day uptrend of 99%. Beautiful high sale and a 9.8 CGC for $250. So this is always the book to get, guys, if you were looking for those good old Spidey books. And, it is, they just had the title. We just talked about it last week. They announced the title for Venom 2. So key collectors, there were always people on CovrPrice are always trying to get those beautiful Venom.
Shut your mouth. How dare you say those words?
Nah.
But this is what we always talk about in the show.
What are you talking about, key collectors? We're all key collectors. There's no such thing as
this is one of those books that every collector should have in their collection, right? I mean, and what's cool about this is, so for those who have not used the site, on the site, you see there is a blue key on the graphic here. It's the same when you use coverprice.com. There's also something that I was putting in that I was when I really started looking at the site, there's also a diamond on there, and those diamonds appear when it's a rare book. And guess what the diamond showed up for mine? It was my Silver Surfer number 4, the Thor. And so basically when you see a diamond appear, that means that it's a hard to find book. And yeah, so
no, it's got a lot of cool little key.
Yeah. So if you see that thing and so when you add your book, it'll tell you, hey, this is a key issue or this is a hot issue. So there you go, man. So next up on
top rare comics is what it is.
Yeah. All right, number 7. So number 8 on the list is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. Number 7 on the list is something that we talked about last year.
Yeah, so this is new. This is a new thing. It's not going to be more Batman 89s, more punchline stuff. We have Warp number 5. So a lot of this hype is coming from Joe Russo recently updating Collider on a series of projects he's working on. Titles range from Battle for the Planet, Magic the Gathering, and Grimjack. So Warp number 5 is actually going to be the first appearance of Grimjack before he appeared in Grimjack 1 and Star Slayer number 10. So this is going to be a little bit of a theme as we go through our top 10 today. This book had sold 14 copies, had a 7-day trend of 200%, and had a high sale of $20 for a raw copy. So, I mean, this book, if I would see this, I wouldn't think anything about this. But this is, you can find it in your shop. It might be laying around. So,
because on May 2019, and I just put the podcast into the live link because the video was deleted with the old channel. This is one of our first ever Black Knight reports, and we talked about this stuff that Paramount was developing. They bought basically the entire library of Atlas Comics, and we had a list of 3 books or characters that they were talking about doing. So I want you to go check out that podcast because not only this, but it was another like weird vampire book and something else. But Grimjack was on that list. Check out the podcast there. It was one of our first Black Knight reports. So we got receipts on that one, boys and girls.
Nice.
Number 6 on the list is another one.
Oh, we're seeing a trend right here, guys. A little bit of Spidey books, a little bit of Carnage stuff. So Amazing Spider-Man number 360. Because, of course, the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy is Amazing Spider-Man 644. But CGC actually notates this book as the first appearance of Carnage in Cameo. So if you've ever opened up this book, there is 2 little images that show the red suit and him in the book. But it did sell 26 copies last week with a 7-day uptrend of 107% and a high sale of $132.50 for a 9.8. So if you guys can't get that 361 and if it's kind of out of your price budget, you know what? Might as well go for a 360 and a 9.8.
And before the show is over, I will pull it up because I actually have it, and we had it ready on the other channel. But so you guys try to stretch this out as I pull this. I think I sent it to Ryan, right?
Yeah,
we all had it. But that, like I said, it's a great book to have because this is really where you want to get all these Carnage books now before they show any type of trailer. So Amazing Spider-Man 344, 360, 361, 362, and 363 are really the books that you want to get. And like I said, there is a little bit of a trend on all these Spider-Man books this week because of the announcement of the Venom Carnage. Let there be Carnage titles. So
this whole top 10 list is very Spidey
I can
and
share my
Grimjack
screen,
heavy.
Let me show you right now what we were talking about. As I upload these, they're rather large files, so bear with us, folks. And there it is, right there.
Yeah.
And I got the other one here, so it's kind of proof to use on what they were talking about on these early issues.
On that Cameo.
Yeah.
So this is an Amazing Spider-Man number 360.
And let me pull up the other one. And the other one is really neat because it's literally Todd McFarlane art on it. So there's always that because there's people who are ancillary collectors, and if you like Toddy, this is your man.
Should do a reading session.
Yeah, I wish StreamYard would do better with the graphics instead of putting like right in the middle of everyone. There it is. Todd McFarlane and all that is Todd McFarlane's, right? So there's the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy. That's the cameo.
In 344, right?
Yeah. So this is 344.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's with books, man. Jesus.
Yeah, and then this one is the other one you're referring
360,
to.
Yep.
Yeah, where you see Carnage. So this is where you see Cletus Cassidy 344. So there you go. We have visual evidence of it, guys. Just in the nick of time. All right,
so you can buy the book and not open the pages. Now
there you go.
All right. So number 6 on the list was Amazing Spider-Man 360. Let's go. We're halfway through there, boys and girls. Just hang in tight. Number 5 on the list. What do we got?
So number 5 is continuing this Grimjack theme. We got Star Slayer number 10. And I saw Chad Crow just said he sent a couple of these off to CGC. So Star Slayer number 10 is actually going to be the first full appearance of Grimjack. He's moving along to Amazon. So a little Amazon Prime TV show going on there. Sold 24 copies, had a 7-day trend of 151%, and had a high sale of $37 for a raw copy. So those of you who don't, maybe people aren't watching a lot of Amazon Prime lately. I know it's picking up. There's great shows on there. Everything Prime really has good value, man. And
all
good
Amazon
production.
Prime, made for Amazon Prime is excellent. Like
it's great, man. All their stuff. The one with the superhero?
Yeah, the John Krasinski show. John
Ryan.
Yeah, awesome.
Jack Ryan is that was excellent. I really love that, man.
And the boys and everything, man.
And remember, they're doing Lord of the Rings. So they started production right before the whole COVID-19 stuff came around. So I was just reading about it the other day because I was like, what? And then sure enough, there was an article that came out in March about where they're going. But, things are finally starting to move along. And it's cool to see these because Actually, I think King of Golden State sent me one of these as a AOK when we first dropped it. Because, you know, if somebody were to send you this back then, nobody would have known, right? But we had just talked about it, and King of Golden State was just, he went all throughout the Bay Area. I think he had like 7 copies, so he just mailed me one. I was like, cool, I'll take it, man.
Somebody sending you this is like getting socks for Christmas.
I also have this as well. So that's why
I've never seen that.
Now
That's
it's like,
badass cover, though.
that's the problem. I
What
had
is that? First appearance
of
of Black
books.
Tom Cassidy right there.
yeah. Check
So
out my
never
man's
get rid of
One
books.
Piece, man. Come on now.
That's some good art. Yeah, no.
I'm the one that still has all his first issues of Dreadstar. By the way, I interviewed Bart Sears at Mainframe Comic-Con, and he talked a little bit about Jim Starlin, who they're doing a Kickstarter for the new Dreadstar that's going to be on Ominous Press. Ominous Press is Bart Sears is like the chief creative officer on it. And they're doing a Kickstarter for, remember the old Dreadstar comic by Jim Starlin? So, but Jim Starlin doesn't write or draw as well as he used to. So he's doing mostly all the writing on it, and somebody else is doing the penciling. I actually have that interview segmented out. It was sent to me by the guys from the Comic Court. Thank you much for that. So I also interviewed Stephanie Phillips, who's doing, if you're familiar with Tarna, if you know who Tarna is, give yourself a high five. Tarna is the badass white-haired chick in the heavy metal cartoon. She's doing a series based on Tarna, and it's going to be badass. And I got to interview her about that. I'm really excited about it. She also wrote a book called The Butcher of Paris, which is a crazy-ass story. It's based on a true life about a French doctor who was a serial killer during the Nazi occupation of Paris. At one point, the Allied and the Nazis were both trying to find this guy, and when they did find him, there was 30 people buried underneath his house. Crazy. So it's happening during World War II, but both sides were trying to find him because he was a serial killer. And like, you know,
That's a graphic novel.
It's a mini series. It's a comic book.
Okay, cool.
Dude,
cool.
she's very impressive. She teaches English at University of Buffalo, and she's getting a PhD in writing and rhetoric. I was a little intimidated. I was like, she's going to correct my English because I don't speak too good. I was like, all right. So number 5 on the list, boys and girls, was Star Slayer. Number 10. Number 4 on the list, what do we got?
Another Spider-Man style book, guys. We are looking at this is a fun book, guys. Venom number 3, third print. This is, of course, the first appearance of Null, but this is also what people are considering. And I've seen fights all over Instagram and Facebook. The first cover appearance of Null. Now, there is a lot of debate whether this is because Frankie's Store Comics actually had a variant for issue number 5, which was released in August, but this one actually came out in November. So there's this whole hiatus of really who is the first person to have him on the cover. But of course, this cover is very comparable to each other between this and the Scan one, which is from Venom 5. But
that's
regardless, I have like 3 of these, and I'm actually sending them to CGC soon. But regardless of that, of course, the market always dictates. We talk about this all the time. Market dictates this. So even though this could be considered the first cover appearance, it's still the first appearance of Null. So
either way, it's Venom number 3, right?
Of course, yeah. And this is where people are putting their money. So it did sell 22 copies last week with a 7-day uptrend of 166%. And a high sale, and I just saw this CGC 9.8 for $350.
Good Lord.
So I got 2 of these going to CGC, which they will definitely be for sale in about a month or so.
At the next Lords of the Long Box auction, I am sure. But right now, and we'll tell you why this book is getting hot, because of the persistent rumors of Null being in the MCU, which I've never repeated on this channel, nor has anybody, I believe, to be honest with you. From what we've understand, Christian Bale has not been penciled in for anybody. We've heard everything from Silver Surfer to some other characters. We do know is the character will be CGI, meaning he's probably not a humanoid of some sort. So we heard Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, but nothing. People have been thinking he was going to be the Minotaur dude. What was the name? The guy from Roxanne Corporation. He was ended up being Dario Agger. Yeah. Dario Agger. I really doubt an actor of Christian Bale's pedigree would take a character named Dario. Because if you come to the MCU and they're like, "Yeah, man, we want you to play this dude named Dario Agger." What? Wait, he's like, isn't Keanu Reeves up for Silver Surfer or some cool shit in Warlock, and you want me to play Dario Agger?
To be honest with you, I could see Christian Bale doing just a one-off. Like he's like, let's just dip my toes, because he's not the kind of guy who really wants to. Remember, he was bucking on Batman after 3. He didn't really want to do it anymore. So
yeah, but he's also very difficult to work with. So
yeah,
you can imagine coming to him with demands, and he's like, Dario fucking Agger, you're full of shite.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't care who he plays. I just love Christian Bale, so put him in whatever.
All we know it's going to be a character with a lisp. That's all we can tell you. So that's it. Number 4 on the list is Venom number 3. Then the reason why it's on there is because people are buying up all the first and second prints. So this is apparently third print, and a debate whether if this is the first cover appearance or not. Hey, we just report what the sales data tells us. We don't give you our opinions because if we do, they're typically correct. So number 3 on the list.
Number 3, we've got Marvel Fanfare number 12. So this book actually came up a couple weeks ago. It left for a little bit. This is going to be the first cover appearance of Iron Maiden, as well as her second appearance. Okay, so correction, I apologize. The Marvel Fanfare 10, I think, was the one we had, the first appearance. Yeah. She's rumored to appear in Black Widow. Last trailer quickly showed just her mask, so people are thinking that she might show up. It sold 17 copies, had a 7-day trend of 232%, and had a high sale of $22.50 for a raw copy. So another fun little book. Everyone's kind of, anticipating Black Widow. Supposed to have come out in a week or two if the schedules would have stayed. And people are digging for these fun little books, these back issues, man. There's no new issues. So.
And you know what? I think this has been good for the hobby because it's not people
for sure
specking on books that come out on a weekly basis. Makes you dig a little bit, do a little bit more research. And for those that don't know, these Marvel fanfares were great because in 1984, $1.50 cover price was unheard of. It's because these were what they called the prestige format books. So if you remember, they were like. Back in 1984, they still use real paper on the internal pages, not Marvel Fanfare. What you see now in an internal page is what Marvel Fanfare had back in 1984. So it was a much more expensive book to produce. Therefore, the $1.50, and the print runs are pretty small. You could only buy these at specialty shops. That's why you see the M on it.
This is kind of the equivalent of DC's Black Label now.
Correct. But back then, you got to remember, a lot of sales were done on newsstands, so 7-Elevens or what have you. These Marvel fanfares were specifically only sold to shops, meaning because that's why you see the M on there, because they were the direct editions. So this was the early trends of where some books did not make it on the newsstand at all. They were only meant for direct shops because, who's going to go on, 7-Eleven's not going to put a $1.50 book up when all the rest of the books are 75 cents. You know what I mean? That's like, that's why these are pretty cool, man. They tell cool stories too. A little Al Milgram on the letterbox up there. All right. So number 3 on the list, kids, was Marvel Fanfare number 12. We are getting closer. Number 2 on the list is
another Atlas book here, guys. So
what?
This is a really cool cover. Grimjack number 1. So of course, if you can't get the first appearance in Star Slayer, well, collectors are going for the first issue, which has seen the biggest boost in sales compared to his first and cameo appearance already noted on this list, as we've said. It is a great cover, like I said. It's nice and tight, teedy, easy to pick up. It sold 18 copies last week with a 7-day uptrend of 283% and a high sale of $39.99 for a raw sale. I wonder if there's any CGC books out there for this one.
I do not have this one. That's like the only one I don't have. Now I need to go get it.
Yeah, that's
do it.
I would love to see this, to be honest with you. It sounds like some
about CGC books for here. I got it up if you haven't.
Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, it's looks like there's a 9.6 for a recorded sale for $75.
Wow.
There you go. And these are not even. You can't even find these in regular like dollar bins because they just don't exist. You know what I mean? There's a reason why dollar bin books exist, because of the gluttonous collecting of the 90s, right? Tons of people have it. So like you talk to the Big To Do would tell you, he buys a collection. It's just giant runs of stuff from the 90s because everybody would just buy it, thought they could retire or go to college with it. But, maybe they didn't go to pay for Sequoia School of Truck Driving or something. But that's about it, boys and girls. So remember that? The Sequoia School of Truck Driving? Anyway. All right. So number 2 on the list, boys and girls, is Grimjack number 1 from 1984. The publisher was First Comics. And number 1 on the list, we got a new one on the top 10, boys and girls. What is it?
So number 1 is an interesting one. We've got One Punch Man / My Hero Academia free comic book day for 2016. So It was recently announced that Sony is producing a live-action film on the One Punch Man manga, with Avi Arad producing and the writers of Venom penning the script.
Yo, shout out to fucking Manimal with the fucking pronunciations, killing it.
Brah. So
manga and Avi Arad. God damn.
So this is an interesting book.
Otto is so angry right now.
Yeah. So a lot of people, these are tough books with first appearances from manga. Usually they're in graphic novels, but as collectors, we all know that typically the floppies, the single issues, are really where the value are for us. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here. This is also a free comic book day book. So it's funny that people are even charging these prices for this stuff. So it sold 12 copies, had a 7-day trend of 818%, and had a high sale of $300 for a CGC 9.8 that someone got for free. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
All it takes right now is, we are so starved for anything. And those who don't know who Avi Arad was, he was the one that really kind of
early
Marvel, and then destroyed it. He's responsible for all the first Spider-Man, but he's also responsible for the Fantastic Four films. So he's responsible for Blade, but he's also responsible for the Fantastic Four films.
What though? Like those movies, I know looking back at them now, they're no MCU, but it was good that they did those. It gave us something to work on, and we wouldn't have the MCU without those because they'd still be making those shitty movies. So I still like those old movies, man.
I never thought that the Fantastic Four, the original ones, were that bad, to be honest. They weren't that bad.
No.
Well, I think the second one was okay.
And the Doctor Doom one, I mean,
Doctor Doom was horrible. That's
compared to the Doctor Doom they used in the Fox one.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one.
That one is just awful. I didn't dig Jessica Alba as Sue Storm. I think that was off. They put contacts in her. It was like
I think Ben.
It was eye candy.
Ben Grimm was perfect. Chickless was perfect.
You know what's funny about this One Punch Man is I was actually watching Doctor Strange last night, and there's this scene in Doctor Strange where the Ancient One is fighting the bad guy, I can't remember his name, and she straight up looks exactly like One Punch Man, like the color scheme, the outfit, and everything. I was like, damn, that's a bit of a ripoff.
Or the Last Airbender, Avatar. She kind of monk kicking ass, but dude, she was badass in those scenes where she's fighting with the fans because they use really like a Hong Kong martial arts kind of fantasy thing. That's one of the cooler scenes. That's why when she popped up in Endgame.
That was awesome.
I was like, yes. But then when you saw her in Endgame, you're like, oh. And then you're like, well, why isn't she helping? Because her sole purpose was to protect the Sanctum Sanctorum. That was it. Yeah. And you notice, remember, she was like batting shit out of the air with her fan, like, yeah, what up? What? Ting, ting, ting. Yeah. So I have a feeling that scene will play a very pivotal role going forward, especially into the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange #2, which also got pushed back, by the way. But that scene where they start describing how different timelines, and if they don't put all the gems back, I'm just saying, just like we can't talk about it.
But they mentioned a lot. I had forgotten how many times in Doctor Strange they actually use the word multiverse. Like they use it at least 10 times throughout that movie.
Tons. That's why it's apropos that it's Doctor Strange is going to be the one that really delves into it, in the title, Multiverse of Madness. But Zach, you and I were talking about it off air today, and I almost brought it up, but what storylines we were talking about, but I can't because I'm working on a big scoop on May 23rd that's going to rock your world. It's it's an old school scoop. It's going to have a basic outlay of what's coming out from the MCU. To the point where we're going to throw a DC scoop in there, but then we didn't want to insult you because it was so minimal. But Ryan, you should be happy about that DC scoop because it's
I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
You know what?
Very happy. Yes. I gotta find that book so I can have it ready when you make
do
that
have it,
announcement.
right?
I do have it. Yes, I do.
All right. Well, he's coming to Justice League Dark, so just to tease you guys with there. So today is April 28th. So 3 weeks we got to work on this. It's going to be a huge scoop, and it's MCU scoops with long-term speculasts. Everybody's been working at Marvel behind the scenes. And they got a bunch of stuff that they can't wait to talk about. So first, when the social distancing or physical, whatever it's called, gets released, people will start talking. People think like, they're just because they're home doesn't mean they're not working on stuff, but that's, what Zoom is for. And that's what all these other things are for. I was reading an article, Andre Iguodala, the former Golden State Warrior, he invested in Zoom like 3 years ago. And then he was interviewed. He goes, "Man, I wish I invested in now because it's blowing up." I mean, have you seen anything there? People are using Zoom because it could fit like what 30 people in there.
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh, it's insane.
I think that, I mean, I don't really see a need for people to go to school. Why do you need to be in class when if you can do everything from that? I mean, it's technology. It's there's going to be a new norm in like 3 or 4 months, and I mean, if you've been able to do your job at home now, you'll probably still be doing it telecommute 50% of the time. If you're not, you should negotiate it and telecommute 50% of the time.
I wonder what he bought stock prices for a couple of years ago. I mean, I looked at it. I was trending it last year. It was like $50. Then this year it's up to like 160. Right around the corner. Yeah.
No, he was an investor as far as a venture capitalist.
He didn't buy the stock.
Yes.
I wonder what stocks were when it was just starting.
Because Andre Iguodala, when he went to the Golden State Warriors, he focused a lot on the venture capitalist side of the Bay Area and tech companies, and that's why he made so much money. Because he's like, I'm setting up for my retirement by investing in these tech firms, and there you go. Microsoft Teams, another one too, and StreamYard, dude. StreamYard has blown up. I saw StreamYard on the news. Somebody was using it at one point. The cheap bastard didn't even buy it because it still said StreamYard in the corner. Poor Wirecast to work.
I'm trying.
All right, we got a busy week this week, boys and girls. Like I said, Saturday at 2 p.m. going to do another Comic Tunes and Toys live sale. Friday, we got our May the 1st Be With You Lords of the Long Box comic auction, and we're going to kick it off probably 5 p.m. because you got shit else to do, right? You can probably go for a good 3 or 4 hours.
I'm ready.
Either tomorrow or Thursday, we'll probably just go live real fast or pre-record something to show you our lots that we're going to have, and also follow Nemesis Prime, Darkside Jedi, Manimo, Otto on the social medias and Instagrams. We'll be posting books. I showed one book yesterday. I got a Lock and Key #1 that's going up for auction. Probably some of the stuff you saw in the comic book haul I did the other day will be up as well. We're gonna have a lot of cool stuff. Thursday, I'm gonna have the Lords of the North takeover. That's right. I'm gonna have Ken Lashley and Word Burglar on, and we're just gonna bullshit for a good hour. Word Burglar just dropped a new rap video on YouTube. It's called, I think it's called My Older Brothers. Basically talks about how older brother who would go and buy them like, rated R movies and get them beer and stuff. It's a really cool video. Of course, Ken's going to be back. So it's going to be a Lords of the North Canadian takeover. And I'm going to try to be your man, Nardwar. If you don't know who Nard is, Google him. He's the best interviewer ever on earth. All right. Any last words, Manimal?
No, just I put a link in here for all of you who may not have heard early. It has been released at DC, Marvel, and Image, and a few other companies are releasing.
Shall we go over it? You want to share your screen, Justin? Should we go over it?
Hold on. I can tell you what's being released real quick. So Marvel is releasing.
Can I just do this and then put you in it, and then you share your screen, or how's that work out?
No,
if he shares the screen, all 4 of us will pop up on the side.
And this website will show like a bunch of crap too.
All right.
He's on porn,
Yeah.
His other tab.
Yeah, so that's the good news, boys and girls. Yeah, go ahead and read it if you can, since we got about a good.
I'll make it quick, man. Left. Marvel, we got Black Cat, Captain America, Deadpool, Empire Avengers, Immortal Hulk, Marauders, Marvel's X, New Mutants, Spider-Ham, Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, Thor, X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills Extended Cut.
Ooh.
For DC, there's a bunch of hardcovers. I'm going to skip those. We've got Batman 89, third printing, Batman Outsiders 12, Daphne Byrne. We've got Deceased, Unkillables 3, Dollhouse Family, Dreaming 20, Flash 753. Let's see. Hawkman, House of Whispers, Justice League Odyssey, Nightwing, second printing of issue 70, Plunge, Red Hood Outlaw. And then, like I said, a ton of trades and hardcovers. Wonder Woman.
I'm gonna give you my pick for that. This is the book you need to go out and get. It's AW Studios Year Zero #1, the launch of an entire new universe. That's the one I think Jim Shooter the ex Axel Alonso from Marvel. That's that. Remember the AW? You know what? I got
Class 4.
No, AWA is a new comic book publisher where they got a lot of big names, and so this is going to be a new ongoing title that they're doing. So look out for that's going to be a ton of first appearances in that. I had it somewhere. you remember when they sent out? It was at Baltimore and New York City Comic Con. Justin, when you went, it was like a giant, thick trade, and it had a bunch of first appearances in it. That's from AWA. Yeah. So that's the new company that's being launched by Axel Alonso. He used to be the editor at Marvel before he got fired. So Year Zero is the new one, and it's AWA Studios. So pay attention to that. They have a bunch of creators that are working.
He sold his whole collection to fund that.
No shit.
Yeah. I won't tell you who he sold it to, but I know some insider sources. He sold a lot of stuff.
So here, let me tell you some of the J. Michael Straczynski, Garth Ennis, Frank Cho, Reginald Hudlin, Margaret Stoll. These are just some of the people that are be doing books for AWA. They got a really cool title called Archangel, who's kind of like a Punisher, but with wings and an angel. I'm serious. There's another one called Year Zero, Eater, Red Border, Old Resistance is the one that's Michael J. Straczynski, J. Michael Straczynski. Here, I'll leave the link in here so you guys can check it out. But I'm excited about this. This is typically when you get new comic book publishers come in, they don't try, to build something. Valiant, they didn't do all that well. But go to awstudios.net. But this is being followed by some big. Do you remember when J. Michael Straczynski did Rising Stars for Image?
I know the title. I don't know too much.
That was a great book. It was, and J. Michael Straczynski ended up writing screenplays for Hollywood, so he's a great writer. So we're up to 7 o'clock. We went about 45 minutes. Any last words, Manimal?
No, just everyone hang in there. It looks like there's some light at the end of the tunnel here. So hopefully we're going to be past all this here soon. On to better days.
Nemesis Prime, Justin.
I got a really fun video dropping on Thursday on 3 Men in the Basement channel. I did a bloopers video. I'm sure everyone who's done pre-recorded videos always has there's some problems. So I got
an hour of auto basically then, right?
No, it's only, I chopped it up. It's only about 6 minutes. It's actually when I first started up until probably January this year. So it's a fun little 6-minute video of my bloopers. So be sure to check that out on 3 Men in the Basement.
Check that out on Thursday. Dark Side Jedi.
Looking forward to the first. Got a ton of great books as always.
That's right. And I'm going to predict it right now on May 4th. We're going to rock with you probably just for the fuck of it because it's Star Wars Day. So May the 4th, we're going to be all caught up, all of us, right, on Clone Wars. So we can talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. There you go, guys. May the 4th, we're going to represent 420 and Star Wars, and we're going to have something fun for you, and we're going to do nothing but the wars. Maybe we'll get our friends from Beyond the Blast Doors to celebrate Star Wars Day.
Party. We can have a
party.
Yeah,
definitely.
We're going to have to do it socially awkward distancing style.
We can all drink some blue milk.
Was it always blue, though?
I don't know. What? It looked green when it came out that city.
Ryan,
All right, so we'll see you. I will definitely see you tomorrow. A few of us, as well. Thursday, I'll definitely be here. Friday, I'll definitely, and Saturday. So fuck it. So I'm gonna send you off since it's close to Star Wars Day. Keep digging in them long boxes, and may the Force be with you. But wait, there's more.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.